Hey everyone, happy Thursday. Gordon here with another Tech Time with Gordon. Today we're going to be talking about smart homes. For those who don't know what smart homes are, so what are smart homes? Basically, it's a residence or a household that has internet connected devices that allow us to remotely monitor or manage certain systems in our house. This can be monitored or controlled by a cell phone, a tablet. We might have Amazon's Alexa, or we might have a Google Echo that we can communicate with as well. And this will allow us to do certain things, like if we want to turn light switches on when we're away or turning them off. This also allows us to monitor the heating system so we can cool or heat up our house depending what we feel like. So those are some prime examples. Other examples of smart home devices you can see in my illustration over here. Examples such as, home security systems. So you can have a lock or a doorbell that allows you to know if someone's at your front door or someone's entered your home by your, cellular device or your tablet. If you find that every time you get home it's nice and or it's quite cold, you can make sure that you can up the temperature up with your mobile device. Tired of fumbling around in the dark for a light switch, you can use your device and say, hey Google or Alexa, please turn on my living room lights. Tired of going out to water the plants, you can get an irrigation system that you can remote control from your living room. So these are some cool examples of what we can do with smart home devices. If you are interested in any of these and want to look into it, you can definitely go online and find more cool gadgets that we can pair to another device. You might be saying, Gordon, well, I can turn on a light with a light switch. I can close my own blinds. Thank you very much. What are the advantages to having a smart home device? Well, there are a few. One, having that control at your fingertips at all time. Like most of us do carry our smartphones around in our purse or in our pocket. So, if we are out, maybe we are doing the grocery shopping, maybe we're at work and you forgot to turn off the lights, or, maybe the stove is still on. Instead of having to race all the way home, with a push of a button, I can turn that off without having to go to my homestead for it. So, having that control is really nice. When it comes down to safety, if you are on those long vacations or away from the home, maybe you're up at the cottage and you're concerned, having these smart home devices just gives you that peace of mind, because if someone was to intrude, you will receive alerts saying, the door has been open or a window has been open or someone's at your door. Having that ability to monitor from safety is great. And then, you can look at contacting the authorities or contacting your neighbors to check it out. When it comes down to accessibility, that concept of fumbling around in the darkness for that light switch, a lot of these devices will have voice compatibility. So, I can say something and it will respond to me. This is great for those who have mobility issues or maybe visible or, sight issues. If I can't easily get to the second floor to make sure that the TV is off or I forgot that light and I have those mobility issues, it can be a chore. It can be very hard for you. So with this, I can quickly say, Google or Alexa, please turn off the bathroom light on the second floor, and it will turn it off. Having these just makes it easier for you. A lot of people will focus on, energy efficiency. We are not using as much hydro. We are not using as much electricity or water because we have the ability to control and monitor these resources. And it leads into the last point that I'll have is the cost effectiveness. Because I'm not using as much hydro, water, or gas, my bills are going to be cheaper in the long run because I'm able to control. So I'm not heating the house when I'm away, when I'm at work, or if I'm on that long vacation, I can adjust settings to be low so that I'm not wasting all of, those resources. Before you rush out and decide to buy a smart home device, you do want to establish why you want it in the first place. So, why are you looking for a smart home device? Is it because your utility bills are so high? You might be looking at a thermostat or a water tank that you can control as a smart home device. If it's because you're going on these long vacations and concerned about security, then you might want to look at a lock or a doorbell or a camera that you can monitor from, your cell phone. Overall, the concept of it, will it make life more convenient for you? Conveniency is the key when it comes down to smart home devices. Do you want it to be automated? So when I talk about automation, basically you are not controlling, you can control it, but you're basically allowing the system to do its thing. So with automation, for example, for a thermostat, you can set the parameters, so you can set, times where that you're going to be away from the house. So it's going to reduce the temperature at this specific time. And if you are looking for a security system, you do want to make sure that it's a good security system. So, you know, will I be receiving the notification? And if, is this going to go to my local police station, or am I going to be tied with another security system that can, do the checking for me when I'm so far away? Another thing you should be looking at as well is choosing your assistant. So basically, this is the virtual voice control that allows us to say, hey Google, hey Siri, hey Alexa, please do this thing. So it just makes it easier for us to control our smart home products. We can simply say certain commands and then it'll do it. So, the biggest thing is that we might already have some of these devices at home as we speak. So, if you already have an Echo Dot or an Echo, you already have an Alexa. So basically, that is your assistant. If you have a Google or Android phone, you'll be using Google Assistant. So when I say, hey Google, it's going to respond to that. If I already have an iPhone, an iPad, even an Apple Watch, I'd be using Siri. So if I already have these devices in play, these are the assistants that I'll be primarily focusing on. And because I'm focusing on these assistants, I want to make sure that whatever devices I buy will be compatible with them. So how I would find this out is when I look at the product that I'm buying, check the back because it'll list what assistants that it'll work with. So, example above, it says it works with Apple HomeKit. So because it works with Apple, I know I'll be able to use Siri with the voice commands. Other things you can do is you can go onto the product's website and it will list what assistance will be available or what is compatible with. You can even go to the official support listing of, Siri, Alexa, and Google, and then they'll list certain products that are compatible with them. Because the biggest thing is if you have these assistants already, you do want to make sure whatever you're buying will be compatible with it. Because the worst case scenario is if you buy that light bulb or smart bulb, it's only good with Apple devices, and unfortunately, I have a Google or Android device. Unfortunately, they will not be able to communicate. So even if I say, Google, please turn on that light, it's not going to be compatible with it. And, basically my bulb is now just a normal bulb. So just make sure that you, once you've picked which assistant you're interested in using, make sure that you buy those products that are related to your assistant. Now, not everyone can afford to deck out their homes with Wi-Fi devices or smart devices. So, if you are interested in this, but you don't have the means or can't afford it, you can look at what's called dumb automation. So basically, these are devices or tools that basically we control with a remote, or it might have timers or basically motion sensors that will respond, but we won't be able to talk to it. We won't be able to play around with, our cell phones or tablets and control it. So, examples of this can be, a remote control outlet where basically before we leave the house, we can turn it off. So this will prevent power being or seeping through and going into our TV or whatever device we have. We can look at remote or outlet timers. So basically, you're going to be out of the house for maybe 2 hours. You can set it for 2 hours and then leave. And then once that 2 hours are up, then the outlet will be working again. Light sockets are with motion sensors. So basically, when you walk in the room, the lights can turn on. Back in the past, we had the clap on, clap off, the clapper. Similar to that. You can even get this for windows and doors, having sensors that will indicate when someone has tripped it, whether it'll just make a sound or maybe this is tied to a larger security system. But, it does give us that ability to have kind of some of the smart home efficiency or some of those advantages, but without having to pay for all those costs when it comes down to getting those smart light bulbs or, smart devices. So in conclusion, the world is slowly going towards smart home devices. Most of the devices that we get are somewhat smart home compatible. We probably already have a smart home assistant that's in our homes already, whether it's again your phone. Maybe you bought an Alexa Echo at one point just to listen to music. This can be used for so much more. And the great advantage of it is it's great for those who have accessibility issues because you can talk to it. And, for me and maybe for many others, it's great when it comes down to reducing the energy needs of your house and lower those costs. So, I definitely recommend if you are interested, take a look, go online, do your research before purchasing, and hopefully everyone's learned something in regards to this, and I'll see everyone next week. Have a nice day. Bye now.